He said the decision should have been formally tabled and debated at the Conference of Heads of Government and not during a leaders' retreat, which he stressed has no decision-making authority. CARICOM on Wednesday issued a statement confirming the reappointment of Dr. Barnett, which it stated during the 15th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM, which took place in late February in St. Kitts and Nevis. According to reports, Dr. Barnett's proposed reappointment was not placed on the provisional agenda for the meeting, nor was it discussed during the plenary sessions. Dr. Mohammed says this goes against proper procedure.
The retreat, as it is called, is not a formal aspect of the entire Heads of Government conference. The retreat is like an addendum that allows heads of government, because it's exclusive, first and foremost, it is exclusive to only heads of government, not ministers, not anybody part of the entourage, no representatives of the member states, save and except for the heads of government.
Dr. Mohammed said the decision to reappoint Dr. Barnett is not legal, as Trinidad and Tobago has also objected, adding that as long as there is an objection, there has to be a discussion and a vote in some instances.
The fact that Trinidad and Tobago and or any other member state has objected and there's a no to the appointment of the Secretary General Barnett to the role, the fact that an objection has been raised, one, there's an emergency meeting that can be called. Two, the Secretary General can choose to resign, or essentially there should be an emergency meeting of heads and a decision taken.
For many of the 17,573 Standard 5 students, Thursday afternoon felt less like the end of an exam and more like the start of a well-deserved vacation, following the conclusion of the 2026 secondary entrance assessment. Students exhaled a collective sigh of relief as they left their various exam centers on Thursday afternoon. Moments after putting down their pens, TTT News caught up with students of the Bishop Anstey Junior School to get their post-exam reactions.
How was the exam? How was it?
It was great. It felt like mock.
The mind
It was so easy. It was a cakewalk.
The mind
Nothing.
What's your first choice?
Fatima. And we going there together.
What is your first choice?
My first choice is CIC.
And what was the easiest part of the exam?
No matter. The language.
Students of the Holy Saviour Anglican Primary School in Curep also shared similar sentiments.
It was good, it was easy, it wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, so when you woke up this morning, what was it feeling like coming?
Nervous, a bit of excitement.
Yeah, and basically your first choice.
Trinity Colleges, St. George's.
Well, okay, good luck.
As the gates emptied and the excitement settled, one thing remained clear. This year's candidates faced the challenge with confidence and overcame the hurdle with bravery. In other news, in Tobago, students were overjoyed that the secondary entrance assessment was over. We caught up with students at schools on the western end where their parents, too, were relieved. Expressions of jubilation from students in Tobago as they exited their schools after completing the SEA on Thursday. Blackrock Government Primary School student Chloe Trestrail was all smiles as she left the school's compound.
I feel relieved. I feel very proud of myself.
I feel happy because I did my best and it was a good experience. I did my best in that exam.
Both girls hope to attend Bishop's High School. At Montgomery Government Primary School, students were also very elated.
I'm excited that it's over and that I'm finally getting to get freedom.
I feel glad because to play now, to have fun.
In Tobago, 1,005 students sat this year's SEA examination at 41 centers. In some sport now, Game 1 of the National Basketball Club Championships First Division Final is set to tip off this evening at the Southern Regional Indoor Sports Arena between the Maloney Pacers and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Ahead of the final, Police Captain Don Wilkinson stated that his team is wary of the uphill task ahead. They are carded to begin at 8:30 p.m.
Maloney is a very interesting team. It's a young team. It's a running team. We played them in the first rounds where we came out victorious. But notably, they weren't at full strength. They were missing one of the Boyd brothers. So we are very aware of them. We are aware of their skill set. We are aware of how they like to play, and we would tailor our game to suit that defensively.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday at long last. The long weekend is almost here.
Yeah, I feel like we honestly dragged to today, but it's okay. We made it. Also, Carrie, did you know that tomorrow is Earth Hour?
Yes, it is Earth Hour on the last Saturday, Saturday of March every year.
Yeah, so you switch off your lights between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. local time. Okay. And you don't just switch off your lights and sit in the darkness. I mean, you can just do that, but you actually understand that you're doing this for the environment.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's an initiative that was started by the World Wildlife Fund, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and you can maybe light some candles and just enjoy some,
Yeah,
nice,
that sounds a little romantic, 8:30 p.m. candles.
Well, it is also a long weekend, so that might, that might be anything. Any plans this weekend?
Let's see. I am going to where's that? Matlot, Grand Riviere area over the weekend to do some filming.
Yeah, so can we expect some Matlot, Grand Riviere content on Right Here?
Yes. Coming up in due time, but we have a whole list of others coming up.
I understand that we're actually going to see some new stuff from you today on the show as well.
Oh yes, that's right. I'm looking forward to see what the final product is like.
Well, Carrie, before you go, Hindus are celebrating Ram Navami. Today, we're still in the holy month of Lent for Christians. And also on Monday, we observe Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. So another triple overlay of observances.
I know, right? Again, in our very cosmopolitan nation where we celebrate each other and we celebrate everything together in peace.
Yeah, it's a nice melting pot.
And finally, I must, say hello to my sponsors, G&K Signature Styles. Have me looking very snazzy.
You look so sharp today.
Thank you very much. It's all thanks to them.
Have a great weekend, Carrie. We'll talk soon.
We will. Thanks so much, Virmala.
You're welcome.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
New season equals new dreams, and many football fans are dreaming of their team actually winning this season. But the reality is that only one team can win, so many will just be dreaming and wishing and hoping that their team can deliver. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Notice I have not mentioned Arsenal. Don't be upset, I'm not mentioning Man U either. This is Atto Bolden inviting all of you to follow the 12th man as they celebrate a new season on TTT and enjoy the ride.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
Friday, 27th March 2026. The time now, it is 6:12 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, you know the drill. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. A dramatic, coordinated operation involving the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and Defense Force has earned high praise after a kidnapping was brought to a swift end late Wednesday night. 73-year-old woman Tara Palaya was rescued at sea just hours after being abducted from a San Juan home in what officials are describing as a rapid intelligence-led response. While Defense Minister Wayne Sturge has commended the operation as swift, timely, and clinically coordinated, and praised the leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff, Commodore Don Polo, along with Coast Guard and regiment personnel. While Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara also lauded the effort, highlighting the speed, precision, and strong interagency collaboration that led to the victims' safe recovery. Authorities are also saying that the success underscores a united front against organized cross-border crime, with investigations continuing and multiple suspects now in custody. Up until news time last evening, 11 suspects, mostly Venezuelans, were in police custody. And in other news now, Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says the U.S. radar assets and military personnel are leaving Tobago as initially planned. While Augustine confirmed that most of the U.S. Marines have already departed, with those remaining expected to leave shortly. He also says that the arrangement was always intended to be temporary, a position previously communicated to the Assembly and publicly, of course, by the Prime Minister. He also noted that there should be no surprise surrounding this withdrawal, adding that while there was concern when the assets arrived, questions are now being raised about their departure.
It's just interesting that when they were here, people made noise, should they be here or not? When they're leaving, people make noise, why they're leaving? But that's humanity for you.
And a workman's compensation claim filed by the widow of one of the victims in the 2022 Paria diving tragedy has been put on hold. On Wednesday, High Court Master Renison Lochan granted a stay on the claim brought by Celicia Kurban over her husband's death, agreeing with attorneys for land and marine contracting services that it should not proceed alongside ongoing negligence lawsuits. Well, the court ruled that allowing both matters to run in parallel could lead to duplication, higher legal costs, and conflicting decisions. Instead, the workman's compensation claim is expected to be considered after the negligence cases are determined. And just a reminder that you can catch the Trinidad and Tobago men's national football team officially kicking off their FIFA Series 2026 campaign against Venezuela at the Pacadora Central Stadium in Uzbekistan from 6 a.m. Our boys who have flown in from Russia, Vietnam, the Middle East and North America to link up with the local core will be looking to make a global statement in this 4-nation series. Trinidad and Tobago then rounds out this high-stakes international window on March 30th against Gabon. Well, you can catch all the action on FIFA Plus and cheer on the red, white and black as they take on the world stage. Well, you know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee, settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
What, boy? The game showing clean, dog.
Hey, it's fast internet and best entertainment I paying for, you know.
Yeah, girl. You heard my good, eh? The call not sticking. So why you taking so long to reply to your messages?
I get Wi-Fi quite out here. Yeah, boy, that's amplier. But what you doing outside? Come inside and lime now.
I come in there.
Wi-Fi so fast, you'll be saying,
it's amplier.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
I see a man, and I tell myself if it is I follow him, we must come out. He must have a house or a phone or something.
We need to leave. The sun is setting and we were already seen.
Seen? What's going on? We just keep walking one direction, and we must come out somehow.
Whatever happened to them?
They died.
Oh.
You see, my aunt, she was sick. If being evil is a sickness. And she killed my uncle in cold blood.
Wow, I'm so sorry. What happened to their son?
They said he witnessed everything, and they say it sent him crazy.
So we were watching news, and this nice ad came up, a Crime Stoppers ad. I liked the ad, so I decided to call. Now my entire family in jail, and they vexed me. They vexed me, but I don't understand why they're mad at me. I look at it like I clean up the community, I start a small business, we get money, and it's called all the time from jail. I don't know how they get a phone.
Coming up, another show-stopping performance from the Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra as Antigua and Barbuda got ready for its own fiesta of color and energy. New ideas for Tobago tourism delivered at the Youth Congress. This highly rated property fits in perfectly with the vacation offerings of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the future of travel was laid out. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago stands on the reappointment of CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett continues to generate regional discussion, with government raising serious concerns about transparency, procedure and adherence to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. According to official correspondence, this country was not included in key deliberations, and the matter was not formally placed on the agenda of the Conference of Heads of Government, raising questions about governance within the regional body. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bisesa has since made it clear that Trinidad and Tobago does not support the reappointment, while also signaling potential changes to this country's financial contributions, noting that TNT provides approximately 22% of CARICOM's budget. Importantly, Trinidad and Tobago is not alone. Reports indicate that other member states, including Antigua and Barbuda and the Bahamas, were also excluded from the discussions, reinforcing concerns about inclusivity and process. But last evening on TTT Evening Newscast, my colleague and anchor Mariah Ramharak interviewed political scientist Dr. Shane Mohammed, who emphasized that this is not a political argument, but a matter of transparency and accountability within CARICOM.
This is a very critical moment, and the issue in itself is a very important issue as it pertains to the transparency and the accountability procedures and processes within, and the decision-making processes within CARICOM. And this is beyond what many people would think is politicization, but it's a matter of where Trinidad and Tobago stands in the CARICOM, our critical role and function as a member state, as well as how the fact that our Prime Minister is a very critical organism to the CARICOM the CARICOM operations.
Well, Minister Sean Sobers stated in a media release that Trinidad and Tobago, along with Antigua and Barbuda and the Bahamas, were excluded from the Nevis retreat, where discussions on Dr. Barnett's reappointment reportedly took place. By that time, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa had already left the conference. Dr. Mohammed explained that the retreat is informal and not where official decisions are made in CARICOM.
It's not a matter of we or any of the member states that were not present at the retreat. Well, it is not a matter of us not being allowed to participate in the retreat. The retreat, as it is called, is not a formal aspect of the entire Heads of Government conference. The retreat is like an addendum that allows Heads of Government, because it's exclusive. First and foremost, it is exclusive to only Heads of Government, not ministers, not anybody part of the entourage, no representatives of the member states, save and except for the Heads of Government. And what it is an opportunity for heads to get together and to fellowship and whatnot with each other. It's not a formal entity within the structure, nor is it an entity where formal decision-making takes place. So, for example, with regard to this matter of the election or appointment of a CG, of an SG, that should have first and foremost been on the agenda as part of the overall proceedings of the CARICOM heads. And as part of the agenda, it should have been tabled for discussion, for conversation, for, in some instances, debate. But the bottom line is, it is not for the decision to be made at the retreat. Any discussion that was raised at the retreat has to come back to the conference to be able to have a formal decision taken. So the fact that where the uproar is happening is that this appointment is essentially ultra-virus. It is outside of the realm by which it is said it had taken place. The only place in which the appointment can take place is at the conference of the heads of government within the proceedings.
Dr. Mohammed said that moving forward, Trinidad and Tobago's objection must be formally addressed through virtual or in-person meetings before any new nominations or appointments can proceed.
First and foremost, we are the highest contributing member. We, Trinidad and Tobago, as a state from inception of the CARICOM, contributes 22% to the budget and to the functioning of the CARICOM Secretariat, and therefore Trinidad and Tobago is a critical aspect. What this is that first and foremost, the decision is not legal. Trinidad and Tobago has also objected, and as the fact that Trinidad and Tobago and or any other member state has objected, and there's a no to the appointment of the Secretary General Barnett to the role. The fact that an objection has been raised, one, there's an emergency meeting that can be called. Two, the Secretary General can choose to resign. or essentially there should be an emergency meeting of heads and a decision taken. The bottom line is, most decisions, according to Rule 24, they first seek to agree by consensus. When there is no consensus, they then move to a vote. And that's where we are. A country, more so Trinidad and Tobago, and any country, as long as there's an objection, there has to be a discussion and a vote in some instances. And that's where the Prime Minister has raised her hand. So really and truly, a discussion needs to be raised. They should all just forget about how we get here and now deal with what's next. And what's next is Trinidad and Tobago has said no, has objected, and therefore a meeting has to be held, whether by heads virtually, for a decision to be made on the way forward. Whether that means that other countries, including us, can submit a nomination, but the fact of the matter is there's an objection, and the objection has to be dealt with by heads only.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shane Mohammed, and of course, Mariah Ramharak, for that contribution. Well, TNT is definitely the highest contributing member to CARICOM, very critical to CARICOM indeed. So we are, as Dr. Mohammed said, looking forward to seeing how this will be addressed. And the big question, what's next? Well, for all the stories that you saw here and more on Trinidad and Tobago today, and you continue to see, follow us online at TTT Live Online. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you want to collaborate with us, we'd love to hear from you. Contact us today at ttt@ttt.co.tt and be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, news you can trust, and of course the stories that matter. Well, coming up inside the show today, we continue our discussion on domestic violence on TNT Today. We're joined next by Miss Sandrine Rattan, President of the International Women's Resource Network, talking all about domestic violence, the red flags in relationships, and the important message that abuse is never love. Stick around.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun. Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
In worship is
For His mercy, kind, kindness. Lift your voice, every nation, all creation, great and small. Exalt the Lord.
Domestic violence continues to be a serious issue affecting individuals, families, and even communities across Trinidad and Tobago. This is a conversation that can often be uncomfortable, but one that is absolutely necessary, especially when it comes to recognizing the warning signs, understanding when to seek help, and breaking the silence that allows abuse to continue. Well, this morning, we're joined by someone working on the front lines of this issue, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but internationally as well. Joining us this morning, Ms. Sandrine Rattan, President of the International Women's Resource Network, as we discuss domestic violence, the red flags in relationships, and that important message this morning that abuse is never love. Good morning, Sandrine.
Good morning, Virmala. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here to have this critical discussion.
Yes.
You know, we've been talking a lot about this on the show, and it's really good to have your take on all of it. I want to start now with awareness. Now, what are some of the early warning signs of an abusive relationship that we tend to overlook?
So a lot of our victims, this is the first sign that, you know, they overlook control. If you have a partner who wants to control your movements, who wants to control what you wear, who you talk to, that is a sign that you need to either fix or remove yourself from the space. The other issue is if you have a partner who comes, you know, to your workplace without any notice, that is a red flag. For no reason, we have that situation. A partner will show up at his girlfriend's or his wife's workplace for no apparent reason and do some kind of investigation quietly to find out who she talks to, what time she goes for lunch, who she goes with. All of those are red flags. But a lot of victims, a lot of women, they misread those signs as love. That's not love. If you have a partner who wants to get into your phone without cause, I'm just checking the phone, that is a red flag. If your partner wants to control your connection with your family, that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Is love bombing a red flag as well?
All of that.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, you know, abuse it doesn't start off as physical, as you just explained.
No.
But, you know, there are also emotional and psychological aspects of abuse. Can you explain some of that for some women or even men who may not understand what's going on in their relationship? Is this abuse?
It is abuse. So we have had instances where partners, you know, criticize each other for their weight. Oh, you're so fat and ugly. Yeah. That dress not looking good. You should do that is abuse. That is abuse. You're not helping the individual. And a lot of people do not like to have the hard conversations. We love to have it. But the reasons why, Virmala, a lot of victims stay in relationships, they use sex as a medium to heal. Sex starts and it ends. It's not going to heal the situation. You need to get to the bottom of it and try to see if it can be fixed. And if it cannot be fixed, then you try to exit.
Sandrine, another word that has been, you know, flying around, I would say, over the past few years, and I noticed it during the pandemic, especially when a lot of people were quarantined with their partners, narcissism and narcissistic abuse. And it's not a new word, it's something that's obviously been around, but we are now understanding a lot more about it. Can you weigh in on that? Tell us, what is it and what are the signs of narcissistic abuse?
So narcissism is when the abuser is all about him or her. It's not about you. So everything is about them. So when the emotional abuse starts to fly, it's always about them, and you are always in the wrong. Then they also make false accusations. You're on the phone, you're talking, all of that is narcissism.
Yeah. Jealousy as well?
Jealousy is all part of it.
So you talked about knowing what you can do, if you can fix this or if it's time to leave. One of the hardest decisions, Sandrine, is knowing when to leave. Based on your experience, when is it time for someone to walk away from a relationship?
Okay, so all the signs, Virmala, that I've described, sometimes they come from the time you start dating. If you start dating someone and you recognize all those kinds of characteristics, I don't really want to stay in this thing, one of the things that we tell victims all the time, always remember you were not born with anybody. You met them, you were alone, and you could leave alone.
Yeah.
And I also want to use this opportunity to make a strong appeal to family members. If you are aware of something, become involved and try to help your family member. Do not say, oh God, Sena, that's how he is. No. If that is how he is, or that is how she is, let them stay by themselves.
I want to ask you something controversial about, Caribbean families. You find like they would tell you, stay and make a living. That's your partner. Make it work, because back in our days, we made it work and we stayed quiet and we took this. Where are you going to go from here? What would you say to women or people facing that situation with their families now, and they feel they can't reach out to their families because that's exactly what they're telling them to do?
I will say this, and many people may disagree or may not like what I'm saying, but 5 out of 10 of the domestic violence fatalities that we have had, family members are responsible. You know why? Because they knew of it and said nothing. They knew of it and encouraged the victim to stay in that abusive space.
Yeah.
And remember, when someone is being abused, they feel helpless. We have a lot of resources out there. We have had, now, what our organization also does is to remove victims from the space.
Yes.
For last year, we have removed like 4 victims. They are out of the country. Why? Family members supported us in the transition.
And that makes it so much easier.
That makes it so much easier.
Yes.
But I want more families to get on board. Abuse is not acceptable. Just as how you enter a relationship, you could exit.
Yeah.
But you could only do that if you recognize the signs early, understanding that those signs are not love. If you want to be under me 24, that is not love. If you want to tell me I cannot go by my mom without you being there, that's not love.
That's control.
That's control.
Yeah.
And that's where the narcissism comes in. It's all about them and staying with them and being with them.
Sandrine, I also want to ask you something.
This conversation could go on until for the entire show.
I totally understand. There's another point that a lot of women make, or again, partners make, that they are dependent on this person financially. Where am I going to go? Because I don't have anyone else to fall back on. I don't have shelter. I don't have money. This is the breadwinner, and this is the person that takes care of me. And if I leave, where do I go? And you raise a really good point about you really have to leave the situation no matter what, and you have to have help to do that. So you talked about resources. Where should women go? How should they safely exit a situation, no matter what they are feeling, no matter the circumstances? How can a woman start the safe exit, or a man or any partner, the safe exit of a relationship?
So I want to backtrack a bit in terms of that. I want to encourage all women this morning, if you all are hearing me, to start, looking at yourself, try to become independent. Independent doesn't mean having a degree, having a master's. It means become an entrepreneur. Try to do something to raise, to help yourself.
Yes.
Also, saving is important. The victims that we have helped exited, one is an attorney.
Wow.
One is an entrepreneur. and the others were held by family. So the way to start for women, I would advise them, try to become independent and not dependent. Because once you become dependent, the abuse is easy to continue. The abuse is easy to become exacerbated because the abuser knows that you're depending on him or her. And they capitalize on that.
Yes, more control.
More control.
Like, that's financial control, right?
Financial control.
Yeah. To everyone viewing on YouTube and Facebook, also send us your questions. We will definitely ask them to Sandrine as we have her here right now. So if you are on Facebook and YouTube and you have a question and you want to weigh in on this conversation, please do so. So we spoke about the role of friends and family. Let's remind the people who surround people who are abused how they can help.
So they can help. So you can reach out to the International Women's Resource Network on our Facebook page. That's where, activity takes place. Reach out to the police. So we have had situations where the police was, the report was made to the police, and when the police came, now when the police arrives at the home, it's not necessarily to make an arrest there. They start with appeasing and trying to bring calm into the space. If that doesn't work, then they will take it to the next level. So I want people to understand that the police, the TTPS is there to help, but we have to help them in order to do their jobs well.
Yes. And now that you're mentioning the TTPS, now there are also concerns that people can misuse resources. Can you clarify when it is crucial or appropriate to involve the police and why it's important to not, abuse the police and the services that they provide? Because they are also inundated.
So first off, if the abuser makes any threatening remarks to you, take it seriously to the police. Threats in any way. If you feel your life is unsafe, that's a police matter. So that is where the police comes in. As I said, when the police comes to the space, it's not to arrest immediately. It's to get some information, get a handle as to what's taking place in the space, try to appease. The police may also give some advice. But if it gets out of hand, then they have to do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that, and a lot of our victims who have been killed in the past, they did not take threats seriously.
Yes.
Once somebody issues a threat to you, chances are, once the opportunity comes by, that threat is going to be carried out.
Sandrine, before we get ready to wrap up, we have a question coming in for you, which is, a lot of partners say we're staying for the children, for the sake of the children, and they will take whatever abuse comes their way. What would you say to people like that?
No. At the end of the day, yes, you have kids, but there is something called parental sharing in terms of custody, parental custody. And those arrangements can be made. I would not advise any woman or man to stay in an abusive relationship because of the children. You're not neglecting them, but you have to make proper arrangements where both partners could have, equal opportunity.
And that's where the law comes in.
That's where the law comes in.
Yeah. And, I like to remind, anyone or you can't be a good parent if you are not there or if you are not in good health if something happens to you. So you have to protect yourself first.
And Virmala, if I could add to that, yes, you want to stay there. You want to stay in a relationship because of the children. But we have had multiple incidents where children witness both parents getting killed, fighting and killing each other. So how do we treat with that? They are orphaned. So before it reaches to that, make proper arrangements to do the exit. One of our victims who we relocated, she has 3 kids, all of them under 16. And the kids are being taken care of. Their father is taking care of them in the way that he should, and she's not there.
Well, Sandrine, as we wrap up, what message would you like to share with anyone experiencing abuse right now and they may be feeling a little bit unsure about taking that first step and they are looking on this morning?
I would say reach out to us, our team at the IWRN and our Facebook page. let's start a conversation and let's take it from there. Abuse is not acceptable. We were not born into abuse, and therefore we should not accept it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sandrine Ratan, President of the International Women's Resource Network, for joining us this morning, talking all about domestic violence, the red flags, and that message: abuse is never love. So all the information we would have had for you on the screen, and of course you can find this interview and so much more on TTT Live online. Thank you, Sandrine. When we come back, we continue our conversation. This time we switch gears and talk a little bit about Hinduism and a big event coming up at the Chinmaya Mission.
City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I'll go right to on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
What about the game showing clean, dog?
Hey, it's fast internet and best entertainment I'm paying for, you know.
Yeah, girl. You heard my good ass? The call not sticking. So why you taking so long to reply to your messages?
I get Wi-Fi quite out here.
Yeah, boy, that's Amplia. But what you doing outside? Come inside and lime now.
I come in there.
Wi-Fi so fast, you'll be saying,
it's Amplia.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vishani. Oh, shun mi ba.
Hindus from across the country will come together for a powerful expression of faith and unity. The Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago is hosting its Maha Hanuman Chalisa Havan on Saturday, April 4th from 7 a.m. to 12 noon at the Chinmaya Vidyalaya in Kuva. Well, this year's event is especially significant as it not only honors Hanuman Jayanti, but it also celebrates the 75th anniversary of the Chinmaya Mission Global. Now, the Havan is expected to bring together hundreds of devotees, featuring over 200 Havan Kunds and the collective chanting of the Hanuman Chalisa, creating an atmosphere of devotion, strength, and spiritual upliftment. While guiding this spiritual initiative is a respected teacher and leader who has played such a pivotal role in the growth of the Chinmaya Mission here in Trinidad and Tobago. Joining us this morning to tell us more is Swami Prakashananda, spiritual head of the Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago. Namaste, Swamiji, and happy Ram Navami to you.
Namaste, happy Ram Navami to you too. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. I understand that this is a really big weekend coming up. But before we do that and we talk about that, tell us a little bit about the Chinmaya Mission in Trinidad and Tobago, and congratulations on 75 years of the global mission.
Yes, Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago started in 1997, and we have been trying to disseminate the knowledge of the Vedas, especially the philosophical portion of the Vedas. And it has grown steadily, serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are very happy to be part of a global mission that is dedicated to seva to humanity, service to humanity in various ways.
So we are getting ready to host the Maha Hanuman Chalisa Havan, but in this context of the discussion, who is Lord Hanuman and what does he represent in the Hindu religion for those of us who may not know?
Hanumanji is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and if you extend that, it's just an amsha of the supreme reality itself manifest in that form, to teach humanity all the great values. And if we reflect on the life of Hanumanji, we'll see that he embodies one of the most important traits that is necessary for Trinidad and Tobago at the moment. And that is, Hanumanji really doesn't pay too much of attention to his own needs. He cares about Bhagwan Ram, about Sita Ji, about Bharat, about others. And I think the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have to take this most wonderful message, caring for the other, care for the nation, care for other citizens. People are thinking now about the environment, for instance. So that is a small expression of what Hanumanji is all about. He also represents strength and courage and resilience and all of the great fortitude, inner power and all of that. So he embodies so many great traits and characteristics, and therefore he's carrying a wealth of teaching for all the people of the world.
Swamiji, tell us what is Hanuman Jayanti, and now about this grand event to observe Hanuman Jayanti. It's called the Maha Hanuman Chalisa Havan. And tell us what does Havan mean as well?
Yes. So Bhagwan Sri Ram, the Lord, took avatar around this time. And soon after, Hanumanji, which is Lord Shiva, took avatar to come and help Bhagwan in his mission to bring goodness to the world, to protect humanity and all of that. And so we have a tradition in Sanatana Dharma where the devotee of the Lord, Hanumanji became a devotee of the Lord to do seva, to do service to him. And we have a tradition where the devotee is a means to reaching the Lord. And so Hanumanji has become very, very popular. He took his form around this time also. And so that date on which he took that form, we call as Hanuman Jayanti. And the devotee has several ways of expressing his devotion to that most powerful incarnation of the Lord. And one of them is to make offerings in a fire sacrifice. So we collect choicest ingredients and we offer to that fire, which is Agni Dev, and that Agni Dev makes sure that that offering gets to Hanumanji. And in this way, we are actually giving back to the Lord some of which he has given us. Everything which we have has been given to us by the Lord himself. And so we're just making an offering to him in return. And that is an expression of our gratitude, of our thankfulness that you have given us so much. We're giving back to you whatever little we can. And it is there to imbibe for all human beings and to inculcate in our hearts the necessity of giving back. We all take from the world, but we don't necessarily have a value for giving back. So each person has to develop that very important value for giving back to the world, giving back to humanity, because we are here because of the world. The world is supplying us with everything which we have. And so the whole exercise is to make sure that we develop this great value and importance for giving back, for sharing and all.
Yeah. Swamiji, how can people get involved in the Maha Hanuman Chalisa Havan?
Yes, you can call us here at the ashram at 679-3652. We have the phones ready to get people signed up to participate in the program. And as we are talking, I also want to tell that one of the other celebrations we are having, which is coming up soon on the 9th of May, is we have invited the Guinness Book of World Records to witness the chanting of the Bhagavad Gita by 108,000 people around the globe. So people can look forward to that also. It's another great event we are having for the 75th anniversary. So for both the programs, one can call the office here at 679-3652.
Yeah. Well, Swamiji, what are you looking forward to most about the Havan?
Well, I actually go on talking all the time about Hanumanji's devotion to Bhagwan Ram. And I feel that if people come and they get a little bit of that devotion of Hanumanji, I am also looking forward to that sort of developing more and more devotion to Bhagwan Ram through Hanumanji and to Hanumanji as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Swamiji. And we look forward to, seeing all the highlights from that event taking place. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Sitaram to you. That was Swami Prakash Ananda from the Chinmaya Mission, Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, for all the stories that you saw here and more, head across to TTT Live Online. Email us as well at ttoday@ttt.co.tt if you want to be part of the show. You can also collaborate and advertise with us through Talk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, and Next 99.1 FM. Well, coming up inside the next hour, we talk all about the Bocas Lit Fest, and also sport takes the stage, and we also feature something happening right here at TTT. You don't want to miss that. Carries up next with the major network news.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Patriotic Energy Services Company Limited has announced a strategic partnership with Italian engineering firm Tecnimont Services, SPA, aimed at advancing plans to rehabilitate and restart the Guaracara refinery at Pointe-à-Pitre. The company says the collaboration strengthens its proposal to government, bringing global technical expertise to support the restoration of the refinery as a critical national asset. Patriotic Energies adds that the agreement reflects its commitment to high standards of safety, engineering excellence, and environmental responsibility. While public interest remains high, the company notes that details of the financial and technical arrangements are subject to confidentiality agreements. However, it maintains that the partnership will come at no cost to the government and requires no state guarantee. In other news, Housing Minister David Lee says long-standing weaknesses in procurement, vague contracts and poor project oversight would no longer be accepted as government tightens accountability across the public construction sector. Speaking at a HGC construction law workshop, he said weak systems and poor procedures drive project delays, cost overruns and public distrust, particularly in housing developments funded by taxpayers. Minister Lee outlined government's expectations going forward and noted that it would apply uniformly across every agency involved in state construction.
The agency sits at the center of one of the largest public investment programs in this country. That means one thing: every dollar spent must be justified. Every contractor engagement must be defended. Every decision must stand up to scrutiny, because we are not spending private funds. No, we are spending the people's money. And this is where construction law becomes critical.
Minister Lee said poor contract drafting, uncontrolled variations, and weak oversight were creating opportunities for abuse and exposing the state to financial risk. He said construction law was a critical safeguard rather than a technical formality.
Every contract you handle, every procurement decision you make, every clause you approve must be able to answer one simple question: can this stand up to scrutiny? If the answer is no, it should not proceed. Because at the end of the day, this is not just about contracts. This is about protecting the public funds. So I urge you to take this seriously. Engage fully over the next 2 days, because when you leave here, the expectation is not improvement. The expectation is a higher standard.
The primary legislation governing ship registration, licensing and maritime safety in Trinidad and Tobago is the Shipping Act of 1987. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, says government is working to update this legislation.
We'll continue to strengthen the governance and legislation framework that supports maritime trade, including the reform of the Shipping Act, and the development of updated pilotage regulations that reflects the complexity and safety requirements of our modern marine environment.
Minister John noted that there has been proposed changes to the Act, but she insisted that this government administration will do more than just discuss the Act.
In December 2025, I wrote to the Honorable Attorney General to formally recommend that the shipping bill, which at this time has about 500 pages, be placed on the legislative agenda, recognizing it as a critical piece of legislation for the advancement of Trinidad and Tobago's maritime sector. I know that has been talked about for a long time, but we are making a push to ensure it gets back to the Parliament.
In some sport news now, Cricket West Indies is trimming its regional cricket calendar, citing financial pressure. The organization says fewer tournaments and fewer teams will feature in the 2025-2026 season. Among the affected competitions is the West Indies Championship, scheduled across Antigua and Jamaica from April 9th to May 20th. CWI Vice President Azim Basarat says the modified format was the only viable option given the organization's current financial challenges. Under the new structure, teams will play a reduced number of matches, with some sides facing as few as 4 games, while others could still complete a full 5-match slate.
Because of the challenges that we are facing presently at Cricket West Indies, we had no other choice but to play this format. At least, I think a team can still end up playing 5 matches. One team could end up playing 4 matches. As you know, I don't know if you are aware of the format, but you play 3 matches against the team that you are playing. And then the team that accumulated the most points moving forward to a final. And then the second and third place team will play against each other to meet the team that plays first with the most points. And while that second and third place game is playing, the first place team will play a 4-day game against the Cricket Academy. So still, some teams will be playing their full quota of 5 matches.
And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
Greetings, hello to you there, and welcome to the CZIT National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. I'm your host, Sachin Ramsubag, and I am pleased to be part of this great initiative.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Spoken word continues to thrive in Trinidad and Tobago, and one of the region's most anticipated literary events is back. Well, the Bocas Lit Fest National Poetry Slam semifinals returns this Sunday, March 29th at 6:30 p.m. at the Central Bank Auditorium in Port of Spain. Well, now in its 14th year, the National Poetry Slam remains the leading stage for spoken word in the Caribbean, showcasing some of the most powerful voices, stories, and performances from across the country. Well, this year, 18 poets selected from over 70 auditionees will compete for a coveted spot in the Grand Slam finals. Well, joining us this morning to tell us all about it is Marielle Forbes, the Youth Program Manager at Bocas Lit Fest, and also a semi-finalist in the competition, Colleen Clagon. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Virmala.
And congratulations to you, semi-finalist. I'm sure there was a lot of preparation that went into that.
I would say so, yes. I would believe so, yes, correct.
So before we get to that, Colleen, I want to ask you more about the Bocas Lit Fest. For those of us who may not be too sure about it, we keep hearing about it. I know that it continues to develop literary arts in Trinidad and Tobago. So tell us about that.
Well, the Bocas Lit Fest is a literary development organization. We've been producing an annual literary festival. This is our 16th year, and we provide opportunities for readers and writers across all ages, from babies all the way up. So we run youth programs, children's programs, and adult programming all through the year.
And now we have the National Poetry Slam, 14 years and growing.
Yes.
So tell me about that side of Bocas Lit Fest.
Well, of course, the National Poetry Slam is an integral part to the festival. It closes the festival on April 3rd. So the Bocas Lit Fest runs from Thursday, 30th April until Sunday, 3rd May. The slam, like you said, Virmala, is now in its 14th year and has been providing opportunities for emerging and new poets since, yes.
So, Colleen, you were part of many auditionees. How many? Exactly.
Just over 70.
Just over 70. And you made it to the semifinals. How does that feel?
It honestly feels surreal because if I'm being honest, I finally decided to really hone my talent around last year, coming down to the end of the year. And I would always see the National Poetry Slam going on. I would watch the composition. I would watch clips of poets clipping their performances and posting it on social media. And I would look at it and I'll be like, I want that to be me one day. I walked into auditions at Central Bank and I saw all the poets preparing to go on. I listened to some of the pieces and I couldn't believe that I was there. Then when I got confirmation that I made it to the semi-finals, it was so euphoric. I actually ended up screaming. I was so excited, and I'm actually very, very excited for Sunday. I can't wait to see how the semi-finals would be like.
Yeah, so how many semi-finalists will there be?
We have 18 poets, a few emerging voices, a few established or well-known voices as well. So you can expect to see new poets and poets that you're familiar with. And that's one thing we find with the championship. Every year, we've been getting more and more new and emerging voices. Like Colleen, this is her first time as a semi-finalist. So we are really very excited about that.
And you have made it to the semi-finals along with these seasoned voices. So that in itself is such an achievement. So once again, Colleen, we're so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
So what are some of the topics that have been, or the themes that you've been hearing in the auditions and going into the semi-finals?
Some of the themes that I've heard in the auditions, it was just a range of things from being judged or observing what's currently going on in the country to being on an FBI's watch list and not caring. And that's the beautiful thing about poetry, because you could write whatever you want and everyone creates a space where you could be heard, and it really doesn't matter whether not everybody gets it, because that's the thing with creatives. As long as you are creative, you'll get it.
And you definitely are creative because you're speaking and we can hear a performance in that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost as if you are performing. So I guess you live, breathe, and everything poetry and spoken word. So for this semi-finals experience, how can people get involved? I mean, if we want to attend, if we want to see Colleen on the stage.
If you want to see Colleen on the stage and 17 other semi-finalists, that's one of the good things about the National Poetry Slam. It provides a platform for young voices to be heard. So if you want to see Colleen and the other 17 semi-finalists, you can purchase tickets at Islandy Tickets. They are $150, all Extra Foods locations, Bourbon Brew, St. Augustine, and Marabella, and at Paper-Based Bookshop at the Writer Center in St. Clair.
So we know that the winners would move on to the Grand Slam, but what opportunities, Mariel, does that stage provide for poets going forward?
There are many opportunities, I think, too, from auditions straight up to the Grand Slam. In terms of opportunities for performances, we've had many poets establish a career in performance poetry. We've had many poets, travel regionally and internationally to represent Trinidad and Tobago in this art form. So the platform really creates a lot of opportunities that offer young people, a sense of, sustainability and making a solid career out of, the art form of spoken word.
And of course, Colleen, it's giving you a young and emerging voice a spotlight, especially in today's social climate. How do you feel about that?
I agree, because one thing that I find that my themes of my poems center around is that we often, as creatives or us as performers, artists, whatever the case may be, we often find that we understand that this is what we love, this is the marrow of us, this is what makes us us. But we often find that we have to put our talents on the back burner because we don't see it as something sustainable, which is why I love places like these, safe spaces like these, where we will be able to share our voice. And being honest, being a young, emerging voice is a bit scary, because on Sunday, people who I look up to, my role models, poets that I adore and study, I'm going up against them. And again, it's such a surreal feeling to be experiencing right now.
That is definitely an honor. I can only imagine. So what can we look forward to from your bit on Sunday?
So Sunday, actually, my poem is going to be taking a completely different turn, a complete 180. For auditions, I spoke about the feeling of putting your passions on the back burner to pursue science, because everybody knows when you get older, be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer. And my audition poem was about wanting to be a poet because this is what makes me happy. Sunday, however, I decided to take a different direction, and instead I'll be talking about how mental health affects teenagers. But in the most, I'll be honest, it's raw, it's real, it's the uncomfortable truth, the silence that is always so loud, but we still don't want to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room, if I'll describe my poem like that.
Well, Mario, what can people expect apart from Colleen's amazing performance on Sunday?
18 electrifying performances. Every National Poetry Slam, I think, people leave with their jaws on the floor. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what people are bringing. And of course, from the 18, we're going to be selecting 9 to perform against defending champion Shaquille Warren at the Grand Slam on Sunday, 3rd of May.
That is definitely something, Colleen. So just a reminder, where can people access tickets or more information about the Grand Slam and the poetry competition?
So you can catch us on social media. We're National Poetry Slam, National Slam TT, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and X and TikTok. You can call the Slam hotline at 463-4616. And you can get tickets at Island E-Tickets, paper-based bookshop, all Extra Foods locations, and Boba and Brew. They're only $150. You will catch us at Central Bank on Sunday, 29th of March, 6:30 p.m.
Well, Colleen, any closing words for anyone coming out to support you on Sunday? What would you tell them?
Anybody coming out to support, I would want to direct this to children who might be like me, because I'm also just a teenager. For all those people or all those young adults, actually it doesn't even matter if you're a teenager, because as Bocas Lit Festival does, it's a safe space for poets and performers and artists of all ages. I know how it is to sit in an audience and wish that was me on stage, and I really hope anybody who comes to watch the show on Sunday, that you sit there and hope it was you on stage, and that you take that leap of faith, and maybe next year I'll see you on stage instead.
All right, thank you, Colleen, and thank you, Marielle. Bocas Lit Fest National Poetry Slam semifinals. It's coming up this weekend. We take a break and come back on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Our focus on sport is next.
If you're thinking about going home, get that feeling out your mind. By instruction, it come out to wine. No, we ain't going home. We in the rum shop since after 5. No, we ain't going home. I promise, this is the last time that we under the fluorescent light that beams over us like the UV rays of the Trinbagonian sun. The welcome mat holds the footprints of those who swore they would never return, but life becomes better when you're able to forget all your problems. Alcohol as amnesia, a cure for the inconvenience. The walls are etched with scriptures of whispers and Thomas the ground.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
From all over Trinidad and Tobago, Anil wrapping roti at lightning fast speed.
Sandra nailing every order in her hardware.
Lisa, who is in sync with style. There is no buffering at her boutique.
And Dr. Alex filling prescriptions with care. They're all part of the 5,000 strong businesses connected and growing with reliable, high-speed service from Amplia.
Now it's your turn.
Because with Amplia,
you're in good company. Amplia Business.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
I see a man, and I tell myself, if it is I follow him, we must come out. He must have a house or a phone or something.
We need to leave. The sun is setting, and we were already seen.
Seen? What's going on? We just keep walking one direction, and we must come out somehow.
Whatever happened to them?
They died.
Oh.
You see, my aunt, she was sick. If being evil is a sickness, and she killed my uncle in cold blood.
Wow, I'm so sorry. What happened to their son?
They said he witnessed everything, and they say it sent him crazy.
So we were watching news, and this nice ad came up, a Crime Stoppers ad. I like the ad, so I decided to call. Now my entire family in jail, and they vexed me. They vexed me, but I don't understand why they're mad at me. I look at it like I clean up the community, I start a small business, we get money, and it's call all the time from jail. I don't know how they get a phone.
Nestled along Trinidad's west coast lies one of the country's most important ecological treasures, the Caroni Bird Sanctuary, best known as the evening roosting site of the brilliant Scarlet Ibis. The protected wetlands draw visitors from all around the world, hoping to witness the spectacle of hundreds of crimson birds returning home at dusk. But beyond that iconic moment, the sanctuary holds far more, a vast network of mangrove, forest, wildlife, and views that can only be experienced from deep within the swamp itself. Well, Carrie Roberts takes us on a Caroni tour for this installment of Right Here, and this segment is brought to you by Caribbean Glass Specialists Limited. With over 65 years in business, delivering superior quality aluminum windows, doors, and shower enclosures, along with complete glass and aluminum solutions for residential and commercial spaces, with supply and installation across TNT and exports throughout the region. Craftsmanship you can trust.
Caroni Bird Sanctuary is one of the most notable wetlands here in Trinidad and Tobago. It is known for the Scarlet Ibis, which nests deep inside the swamp. Today we are going with Nanan Stores, who is one of the operators here, and we are going to find out exactly what our Trinidad and Tobago wetlands have to offer. Tours into the wetlands have been offered here for nearly 100 years by Nanan Stores, the first operator to guide visitors through these waterways. The company was founded by Winston Nanan, a passionate advocate who fought to have the Caroni Swamp recognized as a protected ecological sanctuary. That designation was granted in 1948, safeguarding thousands of acres of mangrove forest and wildlife habitat. Today, boat tours combine sightseeing with rich storytelling, sharing the swamp's history, ecology, and the remarkable life that thrives within it. The journey begins along Drain Number 9, a man-made channel carved during the plantation era to irrigate nearby croplands. Running east to west, the drain eventually meets the Blue River, which continues toward the Gulf of Paria. Here the swamp breathes with the tides as water levels rise and fall with the ocean, leaving visible marks along the mangrove banks. The forest itself is dominated by mangroves, red, white, and black, though the red mangrove is the most abundant among them. And almost immediately, the wetlands reveal their residents. Birds darting between branches, crabs scuttling along mangrove stems, and reptiles slipping quietly through the water and even just above your head.
So this tree here, right, you see that this one dark colored leaves upright roots on the ground. This tree here is the black mangrove.
From the dock to the open sea is roughly 6 miles, but long before reaching the coast, the tour veers south, leaving the main channel to venture deeper into protected waters. While the route along Drain Number 9 and the Blue River remains open to the public, the waterways that branch southward lead into the sanctuary itself. Entry there is tightly controlled, reserved only for licensed operators and authorized visitors, helping to preserve the fragile ecosystem that surrounds it. Soon, the mangrove corridor widens, opening into a broad lagoon ringed by forest. From here, the scenery shifts dramatically. Beyond the mangrove canopy, the peaks of the northern range stretch across the horizon, towering above the swamp. As afternoon fades, the sunlight softens, casting golden tones across the mountainsides. Mudflats emerge in the shallow water below, where birds gather to forage during the low tide. And among them, a relatively new resident of the sanctuary can sometimes be seen: flamingos. We're told the non-native birds first appeared here after migrating from Brazil, nesting in the wetlands as early as 2006. Since then, their numbers have steadily grown, becoming an unexpected attraction alongside the sanctuary's most famous bird. As dusk approaches, the tour makes its way to the roosting site. Beneath the boat, schools of catfish gather along the surface, circling curiously, perhaps hoping for an easy meal. But above the water, the main attraction builds anticipation. One by one at first, then in flocks, the Scarlet Ibis arrive. Their brilliant crimson feathers, colored by a diet-rich incrustations, dot the mangrove trees like brushstrokes across green canvas. Young ibis, we're told, begin life in muted gray tones, only developing their vivid color as they mature. Other birds share the roost, but the ibis remain unmistakably the star of the evening.
Watch for their meat and their scarlet red feathers to make it carnival sort of thing, right? Before they will more natural.
Even as the sun dips below the horizon, more birds continue to arrive from across the swamp, returning to this quiet island at the heart of the lagoon. For visitors, the spectacle of the ibis may be the highlight of the journey, but the experience of the Caroni Bird Sanctuary extends far beyond a single moment at sunset. It is a landscape of winding waterways, mangrove forests, and nature unfiltered. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving you a glimpse into the paradise we have right here!
Thank you so much, Carrie. Today's Right Here episode brought to you by Caribbean Glass Specialists Limited. Well, coming up inside the show today, we turn to sport. And of course, we really have to tell you all about our Intermedia Football Cup 2026. The field is marked and the teams are ready. Bragging rights are on the line. Media houses from all across Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the pitch for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Who will rise above the rest and claim the title? It's happening Friday, April 3rd, TTPS Police Barracks, St. James. We have teams from TTT TV, Next 99.1 FM, the Media Touring Team, Scorch Radio, I-95.5 FM, Cast Media Productions, Toko Strong Media, and 104.7 FM Media Mill Soca FC, but only one team will walk away as champions. And this is all sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, Stamina Energy, AA Lakis, Kenny Sports, and the TTT Limited Media Network. When we come back, we talk all about the Gene Pair Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament returning for its 22nd edition right here in Trinidad.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's Terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with Terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve. Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope, and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
And regional pride will take center stage as Trinidad and Tobago prepares to host one of the Caribbean's premier sporting events. The Gene Pair Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament returns for its 22nd edition from April 11th to the 17th at UWI, bringing together top under-16 teams from across the region for a week of high-level competition, cultural exchange, and youth development. Well, as the defending champions, TNT will not only be looking to retain their title, but also to showcase the strength and future of a local netball on home soil. While the tournament held under the team Ignite the Future, where passion meets potential, highlights the region's rising talent and the continued growth of the sport among young athletes. So joining me this morning, we have Simone Morgan, the assistant coach of the under-16 netball team. Good morning, Simone. So I know you're getting ready for this event happening very shortly. That's April 11th to the 17th. So what does it mean for Trinidad and Tobago to host this tournament and defend the title on home soil?
It's amazing because last year it was so amazing that we had was to take it home, to bring it home.
Yeah.
We was to give it, to take it.
That's right.
And it was so great that these young ladies put out a performance last year to bring it home this year for us to host it here.
Yeah, that's an amazing moment. So tell us about the preparations that you've been making with the team, physical, mental, any type of preparations.
Yes, we had to say thanks to some teams in Trinidad and Tobago that give us that development for these youths, because it's from last year, June to July, we started with these new set of ladies that we invite, like police team, UTC team, a lot of different teams to develop these young ladies to reach that standard we are today.
Yeah, and you know, from your perspective, what areas have you been focusing most on leading up to the tournament in terms of management?
The shooters. Yes, I was one of the shooters for Trinidad and Tobago national team.
Yeah.
And to develop the shooters, it takes a hard task, but they're there to take it.
Yeah, and how's the progress? The team's feeling ready?
Yeah, they're ready mentally
Yes.
and physically.
Yeah.
We're ready to go to put that performance on the court in front of Trinidad and Tobago. We could show how these girls and them have that ability and that discipline to take it back.
So what can we expect when we come out at UE Spec, and that's April 11 to the 17th? What kind of atmosphere can we expect?
I know the girls will be kind of like nervous because it's home, because they know there's a negativity and good things.
Yeah.
So the girls are ready. All they have to do is focus on what the coaches have to say, blank out the rest, and they were good to go on the court.
So how can we get tickets for this event?
The tickets will be on outlet soon.
Yes.
And they could get at the venue as well as UE Spec. So it's an arrangement. So send all the tickets as soon as possible by next week.
And social media pages, anywhere we can go to get the information on this?
Information, they will have it on Facebook, they will have it on YouTube and all the different
channels.
Yeah, channels. And them.
Well, we wish you and the team all the best going forward. Are you excited?
A little, but nervous in it.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm ready to go. You understand? It's just the mental there, everything there is just for them to take it home again.
And no pressure, but the entire region will be watching.
Yes,
because teams are coming from all over as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean that must add a little level of pressure, you know, to the team.
Yes, the first game is Cayman Island.
Yeah.
Yes, that's at 3 o'clock. So the rest of the teams, we'll take it one day at a time.
Yeah, and in your opinion, who you think is the most challenging team to go up against?
Right now with the Barbados, nobody really challenged us, you know, because yes, we are ready.
Okay. Well, we heard that. They are not challenged. They are absolutely ready.
Yes.
Well, we're looking forward to this April 11 to the 17th, and we're going to UE Spec. Get your tickets on their social media pages. We are gearing up for the Jean Pair Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament. Well, thank you very, very much, Simone, for joining us. Simone is the assistant coach of the Under-16 netball team, and good luck to the entire team.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, the time now, it is 7:37. And just so you know, the Department of Creative and Festival Arts, the DCFA of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, is inviting you to J9's Legacy Bring Back the Old Time Days. This is happening this coming Saturday, March 28th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. at the DCFA, Gordon Street at UE St. Augustine. You don't want to miss this one. You can find all the information. Tickets are only $60. It's J9's Legacy Bring Back the Old Time Days. If you are interested, you can head across to UE's pages and, of course, the DCFA. We take a break and come back with more on TNT Today.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, We protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Ladies, let's see that waistline, ladies, let's see it. Wind up your pretty little waist for my girl, cause your body always in shape to my girl. Wanna take you to my place, my girl. Hold it tight.
From Trinidad to the international stage, Caribbean talent continues to make its mark across the global music industry. Well, today we're spotlighting an artist whose sound blends island rhythms with international influence, creating a unique fusion that reflects both his roots and his evolution. Known for his tracks like Hold On and I'm Smiling, he's worked across all the genres and he's here with us right now in studio. Now his journey has taken him from Trinidad to all over the world. Good morning, Jairus Melody.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good
You're
morning.
most welcome. So Jairus, let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your musical journey. How did you go from Trinidad and Tobago all the way to the international stage?
It's been long. I left Trinidad when I was like 14. My whole family, we migrated to Harlem, New York in high school. I began writing. Really loved the music from a young age, you know, because of my dad being a DJ in the 70s. And then my other brother, older brother, he danced a lot in Trinidad and put together the routine. So once I got to New York in high school, I began writing, and then we moved to Atlanta, and that's pretty much where I broke out and started performing and really crafting complete songs, yeah.
Yeah, but you have a signature sound because you're blending Caribbean sounds with that global influence. So how would you describe your signature sound?
I would say it's universal. The fact, again, from Trinidad, growing up listening to a lot of soca, you know, the reggae has a big influence in the Caribbean, and many other international artists, you know. My dad played a lot of music, so traveling and living in many different states also helped, along with picking up different slangs and lingos. And I never forgot where I came from, so, you know, the singing, the melodies really came from Trinidad, but as far as putting together the songs, it's based on where I lived and all of my life stories. Yeah?
And what genres do you dabble in or perform?
I try to go in all of them. Like, I just love music, so right now the Afro beats is really big, you know, soca, the hip hop, the R&B, the reggae, the dancehall. So when I create music, it's really about life and just the feeling I get at the moment. So I do have songs that really spread across different categories of the music.
And you've also had the opportunity, I believe, to appear in film?
Yes. Oh, that was awesome. It was something I really never thought of much. But as I was out there performing and contacting and running through different areas, I got in contact with some great people, and you know, they love the music, they love the song, they love the fact that I came from Trinidad and I was, you know, so versatile, and I got opportunity to have a placement, Marley Girl, in a movie called Runt with Cameron Boyce, young Disney star. Unfortunately, he passed away. But yeah, that definitely opened the door to really exposing the music and also Trinidad.
Jairus, what has been one of the biggest challenges that you've faced on your musical journey?
It's, you know, really coming from Trinidad, a small place, but big with music as far as the energy. It's really just for people to believe in you, that, you know, you don't have the music that's like on top as far as, you know, the rap is really big in America, the pop. So really trying to bring that Caribbean music and blend it, the fusion of it, it takes time, it's challenging because most people are just kind of like stuck in one category, but the fusion of all of them is really hard. But I've been very successful and I've been persistent, so I'm not stopping.
So what's next for you, and what can your fans look forward to in terms of new music?
Oh, I have a lot of music. Right now I'm working on the album. I have a new single I'm promoting right now called Wine For Me Girl. That's really doing big, is really getting a lot of traction. And I have some movies, some other placement, and I have another movie coming up that I'm supposed to be featured in. So it's just really just pushing the brand, Jairus Melody Music, the music, and also Trinidad as well, where it's home. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're here for a bit.
Yes, I'm here for a bit, networking, connecting, seeing family, and just doing, soaking up the sun,
Well, thank you, Jairus, for being with us today. We wish you all the best in your musical journey going forward.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and if you want to check out his music, I'm sure he's on social media.
Yes, Jairus Melody on all social media, and Jairus Melody Music rocks. That's my website, jairusmelodymusic.rocks.
You can check it out. Thank you, Jairus Melody.
You so much.
Well, the time's 7:47, so that means 13 minutes before 8 o'clock. Harry will be up at 8 o'clock with your news. But before that, we talk about that Intermedia Football Cup. And guess what? We have a live draw for you in studio. You don't want to miss that when we come back.
Jairus Melody, #1 Trinity representer. Let's go! Wine up your pretty little waist for me, girl, cause your body always in shape to me, girl. Wanna take you to my place, my girl. Hold you tight and walk you, my girl. Wine up, pull it up, run it again. All the sexy ladies scream. Hey, yes, wine. Ladies, let's see that waistline, ladies, let's see it. Wine up your pretty little waist for me, girl, cause your body always in shape to my girl. Wanna take you to my place, my girl.
I see a man, and I tell myself, if it is I follow him, we must come out. He must have a house or a phone or something.
We need to leave. The sun is setting and we were already seen.
Seen? What's going on? We just keep walking one direction, and we must come out somehow.
Whatever happened to them?
They died.
Oh.
You see, my aunt, she was sick. If being evil is a sickness. And she killed my uncle in cold blood.
Wow, I'm so sorry. What happened to their son?
They said he witnessed everything. And they say it sent him crazy.
So we were watching news and this nice ad came up, a Crime Stoppers ad. I like the ad, so I decided to call. Now my entire family in jail, and they vexed me. They vexed me, but I don't understand why they're mad at me. I look at it like I clean up the community, I start a small business, we get money, and it's called all the time from jail. I don't know how they get a phone.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
Football, media, and a little friendly rivalry. It's all coming together for what promises to be an exciting event this Good Friday. The Intermedia Football Cup, powered by TTT, will see media houses from all across TNT stepping off the mic and onto the field, all competing for bragging rights in a fun, competitive showdown. And this morning, we're getting a closer look at what to expect, including a live draw of the teams. Joining us now, our very own Avanet Hepburn, project manager of the Intermedia Football Cup, and my extraordinary floor manager, by the way, and Wayne Cunningham, technical director and director of sport at TTT Limited. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all ready for this competition?
Of course. We've been waiting with bated breath for a whole year.
So tell us, how did this tournament begin, Avi?
So it started 2002. Yeah. With the guys here just saying, hey, we want to sweat. Right. And we were asked permission to sweat in the back car park, and CEO said, go ahead. And, well, me liking to organize, I like to organize things. I organize food and all that, and I organized one of our co-workers to cook a pot. Right. And it's like, oh, we could take this bigger, and we organize a tournament. And from there, it just became a big thing, and now we're going bigger.
Right, and now this year, TTT is hosting, so it's going to be even bigger and better.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger and better. Last year, I think we had 8 teams. This year is 10 teams. We have to move out from the car park because last year the crowd and all was nice. The spectators, we had a good crew. So now we go into the police barracks, the big Ken Cook ground there along Circular Road. You know, I am all surprised. I never played there.
Yeah. So before we continue,
I make things happen when I make
before we continue the conversation, I understand that we have a live draw right here.
Yes.
And we're going to do that right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So how is this draw going to be conducted? And tell me.
I walk with my eggs.
Okay.
Right.
So they're using eggs.
Let me explain eggs. Before we go, we had to quickly. Eggs in TTT signify something big because when we get paid, somebody indicate we have eggs.
Okay.
Or the eagle has landed.
Right. So now these eggs are very, very, very
It's
valuable.
a TTT thing.
Good. So now we are going to be using these eggs to do this grand draw.
Right.
And this will determine who goes when.
Yes. First, we have 2 groups. Right? We have Group A, Group E. It's going to have a name soon because we're going to have these seeded teams. Okay. We have 2 seeded teams, TTT TV, and next 99.1. We are the hosts, so we want no protest. We seeded.
All right. With just a few minutes to go, let's get this draw.
So these 2 eggs have the 2 TTT teams.
Right.
So you will pick for Group A, and I'll pick for Group B. Right. So you could go ahead.
Okay.
There we go. The knockers. Group A.
Group A is next
99.1 FM.
And I have TTT for Group B.
TTT TV representing.
Now my co-worker's laughing at my thing, but it's fine. My jar, but it's fine.
Did juice finish?
Yeah.
All right, so we keep going?
Right,
Yeah.
so you pick now for Group A.
All right, Group A.
We Come on, guys. We have to cook
In-
with gas here.
in Group A, joining next is 104.7 FM.
Nice.
Right, 104.7 FM.
And joining B is I-95.5 FM.
And cooking with gas. Back in A.
I love the speed, Wayne.
Yeah. We have Against All Odds, a late entry. They replaced one of the teams that opted out. So Against All Odds, they were here last year, and they had the biggest acquisition of the tournament. They bought the old Sayo from TTT, and they went deep into the competition.
And Avi?
Group B, we have Cast Productions.
Cast Productions. We continue with Group A again. Let's see who Wayne has. And that is... Wow.
The defending champions.
So strong.
Hey.
All right, and Group B.
As you heard, there's a crowd favorite. You know, the MVP came from Toko Strong.
Group B, we have the Media Touring team.
All right. Final for Group A.
Final for Group A. Scorch Radio. Group A pumping. You know, because we hear Scorch Radio have a big acquisition before the tournament. We won't say anything until it confirmed.
Group B is...
Final for Group B is Media Mill Soca FC.
All right. Well, that's Group A and Group B. Before we wrap up, guys, can you tell us how to come and be a part of this? It's free to the public, right?
Free to the public. No glass bottles, please. The on-time kickoff is at 11 a.m. I just want to shout out the sponsors real quick. So we have Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy, AA La Keys. Yes.
All right. So, Wayne, what are we looking forward to most?
Bring the fun.
Bring the fun.
That is all. You know, the tournament over the years, as I say, has grown, but it has also grown in passion and enjoyment and just plain, clean family fun. You know, last year we went deep into the night, went until about 8 o'clock without lights. Yeah. So at Kenco Ground where it's lighted and all that, we could possibly go to that hour as well. But it's going to be a fantastic event.
Yeah, so all the information is on our Facebook pages, Instagram pages as well. Avi, what are you looking forward to on Good Friday?
To just sit back and see all my hard work pay off. And see everybody.
Do you have a favorite or what team are you? You can't say that? No? Wayne?
Favorite player.
And why is it not TTT TV?
We just control everything, right? And nobody can get away with it edgewise, but she does it so well, we leave her alone.
Yeah.
You know, we look forward. TTT last year got dethroned from the Toko Strong teams. It had a guy from Toko, I mentioned him, Shaquille Edwards. The man scored skillful goals, goals from distance, you know, crowd-friendly goals. And if you see him, he's look like an accountant firm.
Oh my. Abby, remind us of the sponsors, please. Remind us of the sponsors.
We have Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, Stamina Energy, AA La Keys, and Kenny Sports Center.
Well, that's where we say thank you. We wrap it up. And of course, we are a media company, so you know what that means. You'll find all the action, ball by ball, play by play, TTT live online. And of course, for everything, all the teams and the Group A and the Group B, you can check us out on our socials as well. This is where we say goodbye. Also wishing the Spiritual Baptist Liberation community a very special weekend to you. And thank you for being a part of our society and contributing so meaningfully as well. Also, a very happy early birthday to Darian. It's International Darian Weekend from us here at Trinidad and Tobago today. Happy birthday to you, Darian. Bye-bye. Have a great and safe weekend. Please don't drink and drive. Be safe. See you on Tuesday, 6 to 8. We do this all over again. Bye-bye.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, pointed to a crisis situation in the local marine sector as she addressed the opening ceremony of the Shipping Association of Trinidad and Tobago's inaugural Shipping and Logistics Conference on Thursday.
Urgent crisis in pilotage, where the average age of our marine pilots is 50 years. The danger is not the age itself, but the gradual erosion and potential loss of this specialized workforce, resulting in the inability to handle routine traffic volumes. This is a present challenge, not a future one. As such, the government is committed to working with the maritime community to build structured training pathways which will serve to attract the next generation of marine pilots, tug operators, and dock masters.
Minister John said government would work with the University of Trinidad and Tobago, the Shipping Association of Trinidad and Tobago, vessel operators, and other industry stakeholders to develop practical solutions to address the issue. In other news, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Raturam says the importation of some legumes and grains cost the country hundreds of millions of dollars each year. He was speaking at the launch of the pilot program for the soybean, corn, and black-eyed peas production on Thursday. Minister Raturam said it is for this reason the government is pushing for the local cultivation of these foods.
It is about stability, it is about control, and it is about national self-determination. This ministry has made deliberate decision to address that vulnerability through targeted, high-impact interventions. The pilot initiative we launched today is one of such interventions.
Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Sajjad Maharaj, says his ministry stands ready to play its role in the initiative.
Our role is to position Trinidad and Tobago as a manufacturing base, as well as the business, trade and financial hub of the Americas. As production expands, it must be supported by marked confidence, stronger standards, and clear routes to commercial viability.
In sport now, Game 1 of the National Basketball Club Championships First Division Final is set to tip off this evening at the Southern Regional Indoor Sports Arena between the Maloney Pacers and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Ahead of the final, Police Captain Don Wilkinson stated that he is wary of the uphill task ahead.
Maloney is a very interesting team, it's a young team, it's a running team. We played them in the first rounds where we came out victorious. But notably, they weren't at full strength. They were missing one of the Boyd brothers. So we are very aware of them. We are aware of their skill set. We are aware of how they like to play, and we would tailor our game to suit that defensively.
Taking a look at the weather now, partly cloudy and breezy conditions are expected with a 30% low chance of an isolated shower. Tonight will be fair and cool. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here to you, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
Love doesn't have to be like a lightning strike. It could be a lamp in the darkness. And you see, as the Bible says, that He is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. This is why we must trust in the Lord always. The Bible says again and again and again, I say trust in the Lord. And this is what we must do. I am Pastor Jesse here, and these are just some word and wonderful words of encouragement to you. And I hope this really helps you and draws you closer to understanding that there is hope, there is joy, and there is love that is so abundantly shared by the Heavenly Father. Understanding His love is so supernatural that before the very foundations of the earth that He thought of you. And even right now, He's thinking of you, whatever situation, whatever circumstance you are in. Know that the light of Christ is there for you. The love of God is there for you. Whatever darkness it is. It doesn't have to be a moment of a lightning strike to cause, something amazing to happen, but understanding it could be that even in the darkest